Chapter 11. Undercover Shadows. The streets of the city shimmered under a thin veil of rain, the wet pavement reflecting neon lights like fragmented memories. Detective Helen Radcliffe walked with purpose, her trench coat pulled tightly against the chill. Her destination was a nondescript coffee shop in the heart of downtown, a place where anonymity reigned. Tonight, she would lay the groundwork for her next move. Inside the shop, the air was thick with the aroma of freshly brewed coffee. Radcliffe claimed a corner table, her position giving her a clear view of the entrance. A small recorder sat hidden in her handbag, ready to capture every word of the conversation she was about to have. Her contact arrived precisely on time, his appearance as unassuming as the shop itself. He slid into the seat across from her, his eyes darting nervously around the room. "Relax," Radcliffe said, her tone calm but firm. "No one's watching." He swallowed hard, nodding. "You said this was urgent." Radcliffe leaned forward, her gaze piercing. "Tell me everything you know about Anna Petrov's latest moves." Anna's plan. Back at her estate, Anna Petrov stood before a table spread with maps and documents. The wives surrounded her, their expressions a mixture of determination and fatigue. Laura Williams leaned against the wall, her arms crossed, while Maria Gonzalez studied the files with sharp focus. Sophia Russo lingered by the window, her gaze distant. "Radcliffe's closing in," Anna said, her voice cutting through the tension. "But we've uncovered her weak link, her reliance on local informants. If we can sever those ties, she'll be working blind." Laura pushed off the wall, her tone skeptical. "And how do you propose we do that? She's got half the city in her pocket." Anna's lips curved into a faint smile. "Not for long. We hit her informants where it hurts. Their wallets, their families, their reputations. Maria, you'll trace their financials. Sophia, you'll use your contacts to spread misinformation. Laura, you'll handle surveillance." Sophia's gaze flickered to Anna. "And what about you?" "I'll deal with Radcliffe directly," Anna replied, her tone leaving no room for argument. Maria's investigation. Maria sat in her home office, the glow of multiple monitors illuminating her face. Her fingers flew across the keyboard as she traced the financial transactions of Radcliffe's known informants. Shell companies, offshore accounts, and suspicious wire transfers formed a tangled web of corruption. Her eyes narrowed as she uncovered a series of payments tied to a prominent businessman who had long been a fixture in the city's social scene. She made a note of his name and picked up her phone, dialing Anna. "I've got a lead," Maria said. "One of her informants is using a charity as a front. If we expose him, it'll send a message to the others." Anna's voice was steady. "Good. Make it happen." Sophia's deception. Sophia Russo stepped into an upscale gallery, her presence commanding immediate attention. She moved through the crowd with practiced grace, her golden gown catching the light as she approached a cluster of influential patrons. "Did you hear about the Petrov estate?" she asked, her voice carrying just enough curiosity to spark interest. One of the patrons tilted his head. "What about it?" Sophia leaned in conspiratorially. "Word is there's a new player in town, someone with deep pockets and dangerous connections." The seeds of misinformation planted, Sophia excused herself, her mission complete. By morning whispers would spread, and Radcliffe's network would begin to question its own stability. Laura's surveillance. Laura crouched on the roof of a parking garage, her binoculars trained on a nondescript office building across the street. Through the rain-speckled lens, she watched as one of Radcliffe's informants entered the building. She snapped a series of photos, her movements swift and precise. Her earpiece crackled with Anna's voice. "What do you see?" "He's meeting someone," Laura replied. "Could be a courier. I'll follow him when he leaves." "Be careful," Anna warned. "We can't afford any mistakes." Radcliffe's move. Helen Radcliffe leaned back in her chair, her fingers steepled as she listened to her contact's report. Her informants were growing restless, whispers of betrayal beginning to surface. She knew the wives were behind it, their strategy as bold as it was dangerous. "Double the payouts," Radcliffe ordered. And remind them what happens to those who betray me." Her contact hesitated. "There's more. They're targeting your informants' families. It's escalating." Radcliffe's lips pressed into a thin line. "Then it's time to escalate in return. Prepare the contingency plan. Let's see how far they're willing to go." Anna's reflection. As midnight approached, Anna stood on the balcony of her estate, the rain soaking into her hair as she stared out at the city. The storm within her mirrored the one outside, her mind racing with the weight of their actions. Every move they made brought them closer to victory, but also closer to ruin. Her phone buzzed with a message from Radcliffe. "You think you're in control, but you're not. Let's see how far you'll go." Anna's grip tightened on the phone as she typed her response. "Farther than you can imagine.